Can you hear me? Let's see. Oh, we've already got some comments coming in. What's up, Brady? I guess that's you. Whoop. What's up, man? Thanks everyone for joining. I'm going to go over here and press record on the Roadcaster because I'm also going to be putting this out as a podcast episode on my podcast. If you haven't listened to my podcast, it's on Apple Podcasts, it's Spotify, it's everywhere. So we're going to be putting that out. Well, I'll be putting that out probably as soon as this is done. I just uploaded one this morning too. It was the conversation I had with Dave Dillon, Chase the Summit, about 2 weeks ago. But yeah, looks like we got a couple people here already. Going to jump into the intro and then we are just going to get started. So thanks for joining me. All right, guys, back. How you doing? I'm pulling up some notes from some things I'm going to talk about. But yeah, there is a lot going on. Aravaipa Strong started today. See some thumbs up, see some comments coming in. If you guys are running the Aravaipa Strong race, let me know. Pretty cool event. Just started today. I did my first 10 miles this morning. I don't know if that music is too loud. I'm going to turn it down. Did my first 10 miles this morning and feeling pretty good. Like this is going to be a fun 10 days or so. But yeah, just wanted to kind of walk through my process for how I'm going to be going about this. What the next 10 days are going to look like, hopefully, how I'm going to feel for it, what my trainings look like coming into it, and yeah, be taking questions. So if you guys have questions, put them in the chat, and we will, I will be answering them. So, all right, guys. So yeah, Aravaipa Strong. I signed up for the 100 miler, which is just running 100 miles over 10 days. Doesn't sound that bad, right? But it's still a lot. I think so. Coming into this, the biggest mileage week I've had this year so far, I hit like 75 miles. And that took, and that was leading into a 50 miler I was going to do, but that did take a lot out of me. Coming into this event, I'm a lot more rested, so it's going to be good. It's not going to be as, I don't know. We're just going to see. We're going to play it by ear. We're just going to take every day, one day at a time. Today I did 10 miles. Tomorrow I'll probably do somewhere around like 13 or 15. We'll see. And then probably going to be doing a couple 2-a-days because I would like to finish this earlier than the 10-day limit. I don't want to take the whole time to finish it up. But yeah, I'll be doing a couple 2-a-days and see where it goes. But yeah, as far as fueling goes, I'm going to be fueling pretty much the same as I always kind of did for runs. I'm going to be using Spring Energy. That's what I've been using. It's working. I like it a lot. So I take about, let's see, on my 10 miler this morning, I took one gel like halfway through, just the Spring Canterbury, which was, that's my favorite. I like all of them, but there's not one that I don't like. I think it's called like Speed Nut. It's like a nut butter one. That one's also really, really good. But the ones I take the most of are the Canterbury. And anytime I go farther than like 10 or 12 miles, I'll start I'll feel more. I'll do about a gel every like 35 or 40 minutes. But for like 10 miles and under, if I'm doing like less than 10 miles, I don't even really take a gel. Right at about the 10 mile mark is when I start to, I'll take a gel like halfway through. Yeah. Okay. So we got some comments. Brad signed up last night, going to do the 100 miler. Awesome. That's really cool. Let me know, Brad, are you planning on doing it all at once? Or are you splitting it up? How are you going to tackle this? And then Dylan asks a good question. Do your knees ever hurt? So that's every once in a while, I do go through, what do you call it? Like just like peaks and valleys. So we'll have, a week or two where I'm feeling great. Like I feel like nothing can stop me. And then I'll go through, like a week where something is bothering me quite a bit. This year I haven't had any major injuries. At the beginning of the year, when I started doing this running every day, I did go through a couple weeks of like, just everything felt aggravated. Like everything in my legs, like it felt like every day something was going wrong. And it lasted for a couple weeks right at the beginning, but then all that stuff started to go away. And I think my body started to get used to, running every day a lot more. So right now, nothing's really hurting me a whole lot right now. I still like, I'll go a couple days where like something in my calf is bothering me, which is actually today, something in my calf was bothering me. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Because I think it has to do with, my shoe choice this morning, which was made kind of, I'll tell you guys about that in a second. Let's answer a couple more questions. Doing the virtual marathon on Sunday, are you going for speed or doing it on trails? Says J Rowan 99. No, I'm not going for speed. I will push myself during this week. Like I'm not aiming to do 10 miles a day. I'm aiming to finish it sooner than that, but I'm not gonna destroy myself either. I really want to come out of this healthy and injury free. But yeah, I'm gonna, like I said earlier, I'll probably do a couple 2-a-days. We'll just take it one day at a time. So Donovan Hornbeck says, so the event started already. Yeah, it started today. And then he asks, or can you do it whenever you want in a window? Yes, good question. So I'll show you guys. This is the Aravaipa Strong website. And you can still sign up. I just saw a tweet from Jamil said you can still sign up. Yeah, you can go here, register now. And it pops open. Yep, still $49. You go in here, you just select your distance. You can do whatever you want. And then shirt size, all that. And then down here, these are some of the cool finisher awards and belt buckles that you can order. So I did click on this. It's not gonna, there we go. Made it a little bigger. But yeah, there's a cool belt buckle that they'll send you if you finish the 100 miler. You can order some of these premium awards. I think I got a hat. I don't know. I haven't gotten my package yet. But yeah, that's the site. You can do it over the course of 10 days. You don't have to do it all at once. So that's what I'm doing. Here's the event dates right here, April 17th through the 26th. So yeah, started today. And basically what happens is at the end, you just, you go in here onto the website. There's like a link, you go in and you can copy and paste all your Strava links. Or if you use some other site, I guess you could do that too. But you just have to verify that you did it all. So I'll go and copy and paste all my days of these runs. And that's how they'll verify that I did it. So yeah, you can do it over the course of however long you want. It doesn't have to be one shot. I know some people are doing a lot of these in one shot. I think my friend John is trying to do that. If he's in here, say something. I don't know. He was thinking about doing it either this weekend or next weekend, but doing the whole 100 miles in one shot. So yeah, I'm not going to try that though. What's up, Dan? Stopping in to say, hey, also you're 2 miles up on me. I did 8 today, planning back-to-back long runs this weekend to front load Aravaipa. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think hopefully, so I've got 10 already. Hopefully by the end of this weekend, I'll be right around like 40 or more. I'm going to try and do at least 15 tomorrow and then 15 on Sunday. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, if you can't tell, I'm not trying to put myself in this rigid like plan to finish it. I'm just trying to have fun with it. And yeah. What's up? So Ray Simmons says, I'm going to run my 50K next weekend. I was supposed to be running the Badwater Salton Sea next weekend, but freaking Corona ruined that. Yes, that's right. Pretty much every race is canceled. And we're not going to spend too much time on my race that just got canceled, the Cruel Jewel. I put a video up yesterday all about that, so you can check that out. But yeah, I have no races on the calendar right now, except for this, Aravaipa Strong. St. Michael Hikes says, treating it as a 10-day challenge, even if I finish 100 miles early. We'll see what I can do during the event, attempting to do 13.1 each day. Yeah, awesome. Tagged you on the gram. Cool. That's cool. So yeah, I think that's a good way to approach this, is just take it like a 10-day challenge. You don't have to really like stress yourself out and, go crazy, or you can, and that'd be fun too, probably. But yeah, as far as so I'll talk a little bit about the shoe situation, that I'm going to be, so if you didn't see my video that I posted yesterday, I ordered 3 new pairs of shoes, for this race, but not for this race, but just for the next couple weeks and months. And I got a new pair of the Torrens, which I've already blown through a few pairs of those. I love them. The Torren Plush, which is the first time I've tried the Torren Plush, and then also the Provision. And yesterday I ran in the Torren Plush, just took them out for just a quick 5-miler, and was kind of surprised that the toe box is tighter than in the regular Torren. So I was a little thrown off by that. Definitely more cushion under your foot, so really comfortable there. And then today I was putting on the Torren Plush this morning at like 5:30 in the morning, and wasn't like totally awake yet. And I was like, oh man, like I just remembered that these were tight yesterday. I don't want to, like maybe this first day I should just try the Provision, because the Provision, I'd had a pair of those like years ago, and I liked them a lot. And I know that they're supposed to be a stability shoe. There's a guide rail in there. There's a new like arch system. So it's supposed to be a really, really good fit. And so I put those on, and there's a lot more cushion like around the heel, cup area, ankle area. And, took them out for a 10-miler this morning, and probably shouldn't have done that because they're a lot firmer than the Torrens. And I've been running basically all my road miles in Torrens over the last 700 or 800 miles, basically. I don't think I've ran road miles. No, I've ran some in the Vihos. And those like I've picked runs specifically to run in the Vihos, runs that I know are going to be going a little quicker and shorter, because those are a lot like the Ultra One from a couple years ago. They got discontinued. One of my favorite shoes. The Vihos are like kind of that. They like redid it, put a new name on it. But yeah, halfway through my run this morning, my calves were just like really, they were not having a good time. Because your stride, your gait is a little bit different when you put on a new pair of shoes. Definitely shouldn't have done a 10 miler on the first day with a shoe that's in a totally different category than something I've ran in the last couple months, and paid for it a little bit. The last couple miles of the run was a little tough. The difference between a Torin and a Provision, for the most part, is that the Torin is just a lot more forgiving, and it's a lot more like when you hit the ground, your foot kind of can go anywhere. Like in that split second that you're like touching the ground, like there's a lot of cushion, there's a lot of play. So it's really cool for, it's a really comfortable shoe to run in. But if you need that extra support, if your ankles, like if you just had an injury, or maybe you need a shoe that guides your ankle and knee and foot a little bit more, then the Provision is perfect for that because it's a lot firmer. It tells your foot where to go, basically. And for me, that was just a big change this morning. And I made this decision like half asleep. Definitely shouldn't have. So tomorrow I'm going to be running in the Torins again. And the Provisions, I'll pull them out again. Like, they were nice shoes. It's just, they're a totally different category of shoe. And so it's like, it'd be like almost like switching brands, like when you're not ready for it. So I don't know. That's kind of a little bit of a tangent, but yeah, the Torin 4 is probably my favorite road shoe. Torin 4 Plush, it was great as well. Just a little bit tighter in the toe box, it felt like, but I think it'll loosen up a little bit because it's a knit upper, so I think it'll loosen up a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a majority of my runs on the road. As far as trails go, pretty much everything around here is closed, and if it's not closed, it's a super short trail that's right off of a parking lot, and it's crowded. So there's really no point for me right now in going and trying to find trails around me, which is really, really sad, and it's really bumming me out. But I definitely want to follow the rules, and I don't want to, be one of those people that creates more problems for, our parks department, and or like, if I was out on a trail that was closed and rolled my ankle and fell and was, people had to come rescue me. That's just a bad situation. So I'm going to follow the rules. Therefore, I'll be running a lot of roads for the whoever knows how long. We'll see. Paul Elvin Barnes, I'm doing the 50K tomorrow. That's awesome, man. Kudos to you. Good luck. I don't know where you live, but where I live here, it's going to be like 30 degrees tomorrow morning again. This weather is nuts, man. So hopefully you have some good weather tomorrow. Rebel C19, good luck with Aravaipa Strong. Thanks, bud. Yeah. Okay, so Brad, this is a follow-up to your last comment about doing the 100-miler. Just making it part of your current training plan. Perfect. Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. Awesome. Yeah, bud, you want to sign up. Yeah. So, and then Donovan Hornbeck says there are running sites other than Strava. LOL. Yeah, there are actually. There's quite a few. Every company has so like if you have a Garmin, all of your stuff's on Garmin. If you have whatever it is, Polar, Suunto, what are the others? Koros, Apple. Probably forgetting some other big ones, but yeah, everybody's got their own sites. Strava is the one that's the most social, which is the reason why a lot of people like it. It's the only reason why I'm on it. Speaking of Strava, like I've just been, I paid a one-time fee for the, whatever they call it, the Strava Premium, or the Summit is what it used to be called. And it's kind of a waste of money. So honestly, all right, let's see. Matt says, bummed to be nursing a turned ankle, but rooting for you all in the virtual races. Oh, dang, that sucks. Sorry, man. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and hopefully your ankle will heal up pretty soon. Dan says, thankful I still have access to trails out here. Long road miles hurt. Yep, that's true. Do you know if indoor runs count for Aravaipa or just GPS tracked? Yeah, indoor runs definitely count. Yeah, and also with the, I forget what it's called, the vertical limits challenge that Run Steep is doing in a couple weeks, maybe a month. You can also do that on the treadmill. So, yeah, you don't have to run outside. You can run indoors as well. Yeah. Speaking of running outside, and the weather here has just been playing with us. We had 70-degree weather for a while, a couple days in a row. It was absolutely beautiful. Running outside with split shorts, no shirt. It was beautiful. And then all of a sudden we're back to winter again. It snowed the day before yesterday. It sleeted today. I was running this morning. It was like 32 degrees and rain started coming down, and it was awful. Tomorrow, actually in the morning, it's supposed to be 34 degrees. Let's see here. Nope. 5 o'clock in the morning, it is supposed to be 32 degrees. So if I get up and run early in the morning, yeah. So running clothes, let's talk about that for a second, because that is something that changes basically every day here in Indiana. I like wearing, like if it's cold, like I wear tights. Sometimes I wear a couple pairs of tights, and like a couple layers on top and a jacket. I don't switch to shorts until it turns about like 40 degrees or so, maybe. Switch to shorts after that, and then t-shirt anytime it gets higher than like 50. But my absolute favorite is just running with just a pair of shorts, total Anton style. That's my favorite. But yeah, it's got to be warm for that. All right. And so I put out some questions, or I put out the opportunity for people to ask questions. Doug Moore asked a question, and I wanted to answer that here. He says, give me your thoughts on compression sleeves for your calves. He says he's struggling to find the right kind and best time to use them. During the run, right after the run, how long to use, etc. Thoughts. So calf compression sleeves are something that I didn't use for a long time. I never really thought that they did a whole lot for me, but then I actually did start using them last year in some of my hundreds, and they made a big difference. In my opinion, I think they did. I feel like they kept me a little bit more comfortable for a little bit longer. I don't wear them during training. I don't wear them any other time outside of races. And I just have the ones that are they just cover your calves. I've got several different pairs. I've got some that cover your foot too, but the ones that I wear for races are the ones that just cover your calves. And then I have obviously your socks and shoes as well. But I really like the compression sleeves I'll also wear them for recovery after the race. Like the day after, I have full foot and calf. It goes all the way up to your knee. And I think that's really good, especially if you have to like travel the day after a race, or drive, be in an airplane, anything like that. I really believe that compression sleeves help with basically making your delaying the suffering a little bit longer in hundreds, maybe 50 milers too. But then definitely like the day after a race, I will wear them. And I really believe in that. I also like elevate my legs and just try to keep the swelling down. That's the biggest thing. Because after hundreds, my ankles and feet swell for maybe 2 or 3 days. And so as much of that as I can keep down, the better. So thanks for the question, Doug. That's how I use them. I know a lot of people use them in different ways, but that's how I do it. And then I had another question offline from Eduardo D'Antonio. He said he signed up for the Aravaipa Strong 50K. This will be his first ultramarathon. So congrats to you, Eduardo. Hopefully you see this. He asked a question about investing in a new watch, and he's specifically asking about the Suunto 7 versus the Suunto 9 and what I thought about that. Budget is right in there. So yeah, my opinion, the Suunto 7 looks like it's probably a fine watch for people that use Android devices. And maybe it's a watch that's a lot like an Apple Watch that I'm wearing right now. It's not a hardcore watch that's going to work great out in the mountains, and the battery is not going to last you through 100 milers. But it's not meant for that, in my opinion. It's meant more for a lot like what the Apple Watch is meant for. It's meant to be like a daily watch, connects really well with your phone, although I've heard some other differing reports about that with the Suunto 7. And then it's supposed to be able to, you're supposed to take it out on your runs, and it's going to track your runs. It's not, like I said, it's not the craziest watch in the world. That's where the Suunto 9 really fits that category for Suunto. That's their top of the line watch right now. I don't know how long it'll be their top of the line watch. I would have expected a lot of the companies to be coming out with their new watches sometime around now, beginning of summer, but that's all probably going to be pushed back. So if you're looking at getting a new watch, like Suunto 9 right now is probably a really good deal. It's kind of towards the end of its life cycle. I'm assuming Suunto is coming out with a new watch sometime soon this year. But yeah, the Suunto 9 is the one where if you really want to pay a little bit extra money, but get a watch that's really meant for those outdoor ultra events, that would be the one that you should go for. And then he also asked about buying a heart rate strap as being a good idea for either of these watches. And I say absolutely yes. I've not tested a GPS watch that has really good heart rate monitoring system like built into it yet. I haven't. Honestly, Apple Watch has been one of the better ones of everyone I've tested, but they're all basically not great. They will get like the Suunto 9, the Coros Vertex. They're both like wildly inaccurate for the first 10 minutes of every run. Like one of them will be super high, one of them will be super low. And then actually that would be really cool. I think I've probably showed you guys this in a video on my channel, but if you guys haven't seen that, this will be really cool to check out. But anyway, these heart rate monitors on these watches are just not very good. Let's see here. Okay, so yes, perfect example. Let's go to this view. Okay, so check this out. This right here is the red is my Polar H10 heart rate strap on the chest. The green is the Suunto 9, and the blue is the Coros Vertex. And this is, we're getting 8 minutes into the run at this point, and these are still like wildly off. Polar H10 is like the gold standard of heart rate monitors. If you don't know what that is, that's what basically everything's tested off of, like DC Rainmaker, all those. And then but once they hit like nine minutes into it, like they're all pretty good. Sunto 9 lost a little bit of its way later, but this is what I'm talking about right here, is that we're talking like the Sunto 9 was telling me at 4 minutes into my run that my heart rate was at 180 beats a minute. Koros was telling me at the same time that I was at 107 beats a minute. In reality, I was right at 143, which is right where I should be in the first 10 minutes of a run. So that's what I'm talking about. Like these heart rate monitors on the back of the watches they're just mostly inaccurate until you get about 10 minutes into your run. And then after that, like certain runs, certain times of the day, certain ways that you're wearing it, they work well. And the Koros Vertex, I should say, and I'm going to talk about this in the actual video on the YouTube channel as well, I was wearing that on my right wrist, and it was facing the inside, and it was like right here, like almost as tight as it would go, because I was also wearing the Sunto 9 over here, and I was wearing the Apple Watch over here. So I was wearing 3 watches, and the Koros Vertex was on the inside, and it was also under a jacket and under like an Under Armour thing. So it was like total pitch black under there, perfect conditions. I also think that the inside of your wrist, all these heart rate monitors can read the heart rate better on the inside. I have another optical heart rate monitor that is just on its own. It's not a watch, it's just the heart rate reader. And I always flip it around to the inside of my wrist because it just works better for me. All that said, the Koros is not that accurate when it's on your wrist where you would actually wear your watch. But if you want to wear it in the middle of your arm, halfway up, yeah, it gets pretty accurate up there. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, as far as heart rate monitors, I would definitely get a chest strap. None of these watches are that great, so go ahead and get a chest strap. Yeah, Jared George, indoor runs count as well. Just have to have the proof. Taking a picture of the treadmill mileage or the watch. Yeah, that's a good point. You don't even have to have like the whatever you call fit file up on Strava or anything. Just take a picture of your treadmill. It's a good point. Thanks for pointing that out, Jared. Paul Elvin says, thanks, Ryan. I live in San Francisco, so going to run from my house and then across the Golden Gate Bridge. Whoa, that's cool. Do a loop on the Marin Trails and then back home. That is awesome. And if you guys don't remember, Paul is doing the 50K tomorrow. So good luck, Paul. What is it? In California, is it like 6 p.m. right now? So, yeah, it's not too late for you. You should, get to bed in a little bit and then get out there and crush it, man. Oh man, that's awesome. That's really cool. How long is the Golden Gate Bridge? I don't even know how far that is across. Mad Runner says, good luck tomorrow. And then Reese runs. Hey, actually, I watch your YouTube, Reese. Keep putting out good stuff, man. Your channel's been growing a lot. That's awesome. Kudos to you. For those of you that don't know, Reese also has a running YouTube channel and other stuff too. Cool guy. Keep pumping him out, Reese. Ray Simmons says, did you end up keeping the DJI Osmo Pocket? I have a GoPro, but feel like it's a pain to run with. No, I returned the Osmo Pocket because I did not like it. It's a cool, it's a cool camera for if you are like maybe a photographer or somebody that is not in like outdoor running situations. If you want to have just like this quick gimbal that you can get some pretty good shots on, but you're in a controlled environment, it's a good camera. It's fine. The reason why I didn't like it was because it wasn't waterproof, and let's see. So when I would like flip it around and point it back at me, which is kind of like that, the typical like GoPro, like selfie running with it. The focal length was, it was just too tight of an angle, and I couldn't, like, it just felt way too close and intrusive. I had to hold it out as far as I possibly could, and it was still, it was just still too tight of an image. GoPro, even on linear mode, was a lot wider, which just felt much better for videos. So I did not keep the Osmo Pocket. I would definitely recommend the GoPro Hero 8, or a lot of people are really liking the Insta360. I've not tried it. I don't have the cash to burn on it right now. I want it, but it would be cool. It'd be cool to try it out, but I do not have it. Haven't tried it. Mad Runner says, Ryan, if you like wearing shorts, try using a warming salve on your legs. I'll use squirrel's nut butter, born to rub on my legs. Colder temps helps a lot. Yeah. I have not. That is interesting. That's an interesting idea. I've never tried putting anything on my legs like that to warm them up and still be able to wear shorts in the winter. Interesting. Maybe I'll try that. Jared George says, do post stretching plyometrics and or anything to help with recovery strength? Yes, good question. That's actually a video I'm going to be posting hopefully this week, is kind of talking about my recovery and what I do in between runs. But yes, I stretch when I get home. I don't stretch before, but I do like a dynamic warm up before my runs, and then I'll stretch when I get home. Most of my stretching is focused on my calves, and then just anything like my hips, maybe sometimes if they're feeling a little tight. I do have, I have like one of those foam rollers, and I'll do that. I've got a lacrosse ball. I've got this little thing. It's called a peanut. I also have, I'll pull this out. Did not plan on pulling this out, but this is something that I use all the time. It's one of these like massage percussion guns, and you see that? That's awesome. So I use this all the time. This company sent that to me, and so give them a little plug here. Sonic, go check it out. But yeah, I'll do that. I'll use that massage gun like kind of in the evening sometime. But I feel like that really helps loosen up any of your leg muscles that are feeling a little tight or anything. Yeah, I really like it a lot. But as far as stretching, I don't do a ton of stretching. Mainly I just stretch out my calves, just make sure that, and that's on like the reason why I started stretching my calves more was from when I tore cartilage in my ankle. During the healing process, my Achilles tendon got tighter, and that was like one of the physical therapy steps that I had to take. Was they really wanted me to stretch my calves a lot to get my Achilles tendon to kind of, go back to normal, and then get all that mobility back into my ankles. The front of my ankle was just really, really stiff. And so stretching your calves kind of like pushed that area together, opened it up, and it just really helped a lot. So that's really the only reason why I stretch my calves a whole lot. Like, as far as like, I just don't feel like I have the time a lot of times to do a lot of this recovery stuff, but it is very, very important. Yeah, so Matt says, appreciate the kind words on the ankle. Yeah, no problem, man. Thankfully, it was 2 weeks ago, so hopefully be back out there soon. Weather here in Ohio has been crazy. Played in the snow with the kids today. It's just been like the weather has been so like frustrating. Especially being a runner, being someone who likes being outside, my mood is so directly tied to the weather, and it's just when it's bad weather, it sucks. But yeah. So let's see here. Oh, also for recovery, I use Hemp Daddy's CBD oil, which is so I actually just got a new batch in yesterday, the day before. This is like the CBD oil that it's just like drop it in your mouth. And then this is like some soft gels. I take these like every day as well. But yeah, I really feel like that makes a big difference with recovery too. I've tried a couple different CBD companies. Hemp Daddy's has been the one that has been honestly the people behind the company are a big reason why I choose to like either partner up with a company or use their products. And Caleb, the guy that runs Hemp Daddy's, is just super awesome guy. So yeah, I'm an ambassador for them, full disclosure, but yeah, I really like their stuff a lot and I use it every day. I do think it helps a lot with recovery. But yeah, and then, so like, I also have been using a standing desk for a long time. And this week, I don't think I'm going to be using the standing desk as much, just because I need to maximize that recovery time. So I'm going to be spending a lot more time sitting during work. It's not a big deal, but yeah, standing desks are awesome. And I really think that it probably helped with a lot of things. And, especially like when you're training for a long ultra or something, standing all day is actually really good training. So keep that in mind next time you're training for your ultras. Just maybe get a stand-up desk or get some shelves like you see behind here. There's actually my work computer, laptop just sits up there. That's where I work every day for work. And then at night, like come over here and do YouTube video stuff. So, all right. Chris Parker says, when you ran your 100 with minimal training after injury, did you rely on your years of miles on your legs, or how did your lungs get through it? Yeah, good question. That was totally mind over matter. And yes, I think a lot of it had to do with just the years of running and the experience that I've had running other hundreds. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, what Chris is asking about was the Hallucination 100 last year. 2 weeks prior, I got the okay from my doctor to start running again. And that was the first time I had ran in over 2 months, like 2.5 months, basically, because 2.5 months before that was when I rolled my ankle at Mohican 100 and tore cartilage in my ankle. And so I had to take 2.5 months off running, got the okay. 2 weeks later, ran another 100. And so yeah, at that point, I was relying a lot on just it was mainly the mental side of it, just knowing what to expect, knowing that, okay, like this is what 20 miles feels like. This is what 50 miles feels like. This is what 75 miles feels like. And it was like, I also had a lot riding on it, because I knew that I could jump in. Well, actually, no, that was basically my one shot at getting Western States qualifier for last year, because at that point, I had also known that I was going to be headed out to the Moab 240 to film Rob. And that was the weekend of the IT 100. So that was like the last 100 miler in my area that I was willing to travel to was the IT 100, but I was scheduled to film that weekend. So Hallucination 100 was like my last shot to get a Western States qualifier. So I had a lot riding on it. But yeah, it was a lot of just knowing what to expect when the pain came, and when the boredom came, just kind of, there's this quote that, someone says, I don't know who it is, but, my wife says it a lot. And it goes something like, when something comes, like when trouble comes or something, just greet it with a smile or something like that. And so it's like, that's kind of the, approach I took to that Hallucination 100 race, is that when the troubles came, when the pain came, just kind of say, oh, there you are, and just smile at it. And of course it hurt and it was very hard, but that's how you get through that kind of stuff. And I can only speak for experience with running. I don't have experience with a lot of other really hard stuff that people go through in life, but with running, I know what that feels like. So, Paul Elvin Barnes says Golden Gate Bridge is 1.7 miles. That's a long bridge. So cool. So running across it and back and around Marin Headlands. Good luck to you, Paul, tomorrow. That's going to be beautiful. Yeah, I don't know if you take pictures or film or anything, but you should take some video, take some pictures, post them. That would be awesome. Tag me tomorrow. I'd love to check out your pictures, or anything. Or if you don't carry a camera or anything like that, kudos to you. But yeah, excited for you to do that tomorrow. But yeah, so going for, getting close to an hour. So I'm going to start wrapping this up kind of soon. So if anybody else has questions, get them in. But yeah, Aravaipa Strong, it started. I hope that this pain that I was having in my calf from running in these new shoes today is not going to be something that causes problems. I was actually really worried about it this morning when I was running. It was like really, really frustrating. But hopefully with all this like recovery stuff that I've got going on, it won't be a problem. And then I'm going to be running in the Torin Plush tomorrow. I took my GoPro out this morning. I'm going to try and take my GoPro on every run and then put a video together, kind of documenting the whole thing. So by the end of it, hopefully I have a cool video, or maybe a couple videos from this big race. But yeah, I'm also about to hit 800 miles for the year, which is really cool. That's one of the quicker years, if not the quickest I've ever pushed through the spring. It's pretty awesome. Last year, with all the injuries I had, I only ran 1,000 miles, which is a lot. Like for a lot of people, that's a lot. For me, it was not a lot. But yeah, about to hit 800 miles. I'll probably hit that like maybe Sunday. Probably hit 800 on Sunday. And then by the end of this Aravaipa Strong, hopefully be really close to 900 if all goes well. Yeah. Paul asks another question. How many years of ultras before you try 100? That's a good question. I think I took 4, maybe 3 years. And then on the 4th year of running ultras, I tried 100. So I've been running trails for a couple years. I had done this trail marathon several times in October. And then I had done a bunch of trail, like 10Ks and 5Ks. But did my first 50 miler And then I think I did it twice or maybe 3 times. So it would have been like 2 or 3 years of doing a couple 50 milers before I tried my first 100. And I mean, that was fine. That worked for me. No matter what, the 100 miler is going to smack you in the face. Like, there's no way around it. It's going to be one of the hardest physical things you've ever done. But I would say running a couple 50s would prepare you pretty well. I don't necessarily think you need to run 100K before you try a 100 miler. It's not that much farther than a 50 miler. It's just a couple more miles. And when you've gone 50 miles, like, yeah, you feel like you're done, but you could also go like another, whatever it is, 12 miles or whatever to get to the 100K. You could march that and you'd be fine. But jumping from that 100 or the 50 mile or 100K up to 100 mile is a huge jump, because you start including a lot of other variables that you didn't have in a 50 miler, like sleep deprivation, and then just the extra pounding that extra 50 miles takes on your legs. It's just crazy. So I would say do a couple 50 milers. It doesn't have to be 2 or 3 years or whatever. I've got a couple friends that did like a 50 miler, and then a few weeks later, like my good friend Russell, last year, he did his first 50 miler in March, and then he did his first 100 miler in June. So it's possible. You don't have to follow any sort of plan. You don't have to do anything that anyone else has ever done. You, like, when Russell told me he was going to do a 50 miler in March and then a 100 miler in June, I was like, well, good luck. I mean, I had faith, but I was like, that's pretty fast. But he did it, and he was awesome. I think he even did sub 24 at Kettle for his first 100, which was pretty sweet. But yeah, there's no set training plan, or there's no set path that you have to take before you hit 100 miles. Like, if you feel like you're ready, or if you feel like you want to, no one's ever ready to run their first 100, but if you feel like you want to, and you have the support, you have a little bit of knowledge, I think that's like, just go for it. But yeah, it's gonna, no matter what, it's gonna smack you in the face in a good way. But that's the beauty of it. That's why we do these things, right? Mad Runner says, have you tried out the Temp 2s yet? Really enjoying them compared to the 1.5s. Yes, I've got a pair right over there, and I love them. I've only ran a few times in them, but they feel great. They feel like really fast shoes. Like, I've been noticing that Ultra recently has been, some of their shoes, they've been sticking with the kind of just like no nonsense, like zero drop, or now they're calling it balanced cushion. New name, because zero drop confused a lot of people. I don't blame them. I got a lot of questions on what does zero drop mean and all of that. So balanced cushion is the new tagline that Ultra is using. So a lot of them are just like balanced cushion from the heel to the forefoot, and it's just a solid shoe. Like, it's fine. But a lot of their shoes, what they're starting to do now too, like especially like the Torin and then especially the Temp, is like right under your toes, they're pulling away some of that cushion. So, and that's what I'm talking about. Like when you feel your foot rock forward and like kind of spring forward, like think of some other brands, like that's their whole thing, is that the shoe, like when you set it on a table, it looks like a boat. And like, that's what propels you forward. And so some of their shoes, the Temp and the Torin, that I know for sure that I've run in, they do rock you forward. And so it gives you a little bit extra momentum. That's what I mean. They feel fast. So yes, I really like the Temps. Let's see. George Richard, hi from Australia. Whoa, that's awesome. Question, how much time do you dedicate to strength training, and how does it fit in around running? As far as like traditional strength training, like where you see like with weights, I don't do any. I should. definitely, for sure. But at this point, it's just, I honestly just don't have time. I do, my athletes that I coach, and for myself, I do this routine that was made popular by the like Oregon cross country team like years and years ago. And it's just this routine, like you can find it online, called the Oregon stability routine. I do that once a week, and that really helps a lot with knees and hips and ankles. But no traditional strength training for me. I wish it was different. I wish I did. And I would recommend everyone to do more traditional strength training. I do things like on the balance board, things like that. But I mean, I guess I still wouldn't consider that strength training. Will Stam says, have you ever run at Eagle Creek in Indiana? Yeah, I love Eagle Creek. It's a really good place to go run. There's like two sides of it. There's a side that is really popular. And then there's a side like kind of across the lake or creek or whatever it is, that is a lot more rugged and not as popular. And that's really fun to get over there if you can get on those trails. I think that's on the west side. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's all closed right now anyway. But yeah. Patrick Forsyth says, I run trails in the Ultra Olympus. Due to social distancing, I'm running more roads. Is there an ultra road oriented shoe that is close equivalent that I should try? Yeah, try out the duos. They are the most Olympus-like. I believe the stack height is pretty much the same. They feel very, very similar when you put them on. This year's model of the duo has a knit upper, which is really nice. It keeps you really cool. I would definitely get this year's model. There was some pretty big improvements to the durability that they made over last year's model of the duo. And it's all in the upper. But that's a really good shoe. Very, very similar to the Olympus. In fact, I just retired a pair of duos on Strava. It hit 150 miles in them, and that's about when I retire shoes, is about 150 to 200 miles, because I can really feel it. I can really feel it in my knees and ankles once I get to about 150 and 200. But yeah. Julian Bresden says, do you think UTMB is happening this year? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the situation is like over there in Europe. I do know that Tour de France just got postponed to the end of August, which is a good move. Yeah, that would have been just a disaster to do that race in the originally scheduled time, and that's one, like, I love watching the Tour de France, and one day hope to be able to go over there and just participate in the crowd. I don't obviously, but I would just love to go around and travel around to a couple of those cities and just be on some of those climbs and cheer those riders up those climbs. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. But that got moved to the end of August. I could see UTMB possibly taking a similar route. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone really knows a whole lot of what's going to be happening like June, July, and then after. It's just so up in the air. But yeah, there's so someone also threw out a comment. Alan Murphy. This is a comment from my YouTube channel, so I can't put it up on the screen. A different video. Says Alan Murphy's signed up and training for UTMB, but he's in lockdown in Ireland, and so that is a crazy situation. And he says that, yes, the fact that they won't make a decision is frustrating. So yeah, also shout out to Laura Bellman. If you're watching, you are Aravaipa Strong as well. You commented on my last video, so thank you so much. But yeah, guys, if you don't have anything else, that's where I'm going to end the show. if I do want to plug my coaching business. If you guys, I know that this is a really weird time, and so if you're looking for a coach like now or in the future, definitely check out my website. Just my business, like obviously, like just like a lot of people are struggling right now. I have two sides to my business. One of them, I'm a audio professional and I run front of house audio and at a church, and that is done for at least a couple months. So a lot of my income just kind of like disappeared just like that. So I have a lot more time to do like video editing and stuff like this YouTube live. But also if people are interested in hiring a coach, just let me know. Got a pretty good solid team right now, and all of our races are canceled, and so all of us are just kind of like up in the air. But what we're doing is we're still, for those of us that are in the right situation socially and health-wise, we're still going ahead and training. And like these, the training that you gain during this time is not going to be lost. It's going to help you for as soon as this all ends. We're going to come out of this and hopefully we'll be fit and we'll be fast and we'll be ready and we'll be hungry to take on these races and climb those mountains and get out there. But also for the fall and for next year, the training you do now, it builds and builds and builds over your lifetime. It's not just something that you train for 3 months and then you're done and then it all resets. So just want to throw that out there. If any of you guys are on the fence or interested, let me know. But yeah, 1 hour. I'm going to stop it here. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll be doing this, like I've been doing this about once a week or so, sometimes twice a week. And I don't get a whole lot of opportunity beforehand to kind of throw up the notification. So click that bell so you do get notified and that you can join us next time. We've had a good, solid group of people the whole time. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to everyone that commented, asked a question. This is exciting. Like this is what this is for. It's just kind of like chill, hang out, ask questions, talk about stuff. So yeah, good luck to everyone doing Aravaipa.